Hello and welcome back to S Rank, the only home of video games. My name is Ethan, and every now and then, maybe every week or 2 weeks or so, I get in the pond here. This is actually my first time in the pond on stream. In the pond here and do some fishing. A whole bunch of fishing video games throughout the kind of course of video games' existence. We're going to see one of, if not the earliest, fishing video game today. And every time we do one of these, I pick 4 games on different systems each from a very, very large and still growing list of fishing video games. Every single time I go to add more, every time I go to do research to see if there's more, I add like a couple dozen more. My research first started off as just going to like Wikipedia. Here's a list of every game for this console and just control effing fish and bass and just seeing, well, although, okay, that's a fishing game, cool. I was just doing all that at the beginning, and then it became more and more research into finding this and that, and there's just still so many. There are franchises like the Black Bass and Reel Fishing that have gone on for a very, very long time. We're going to be playing one of those games from one of those series today. 4 games on our list every single time we do this, and this is what we have so far. I rank these games not as an overall package, not just as an overall video game, but just the act of fishing in the video game. And also to be clear, these are games that are, where fishing is the actual core video game gameplay thing you're doing. This isn't like an Animal Crossing, a Pokemon, or anything where fishing is an activity in a game where fishing is not the video game. This isn't like fishing in Ocarina of Time or near anything like that. These are fishing video games, and I rank them. There are 4 elements on a 1 to 5 scale. Environment, which is just the atmosphere of when you're doing the fishing, what it looks like. It's the graphics and not necessarily audio, but how everything looks. What does it feel like when you're there? That's on a 1 to 5 scale. Music and sound, this is essentially the atmosphere part of this, but the sound effects themselves, how does it sound when you're reeling in, when you're thumbing the line, when you get a strike, all of that stuff, as well as I really am interested in what the particular game does for music before or after you hook one. Fish variety. This isn't necessarily just how many different kinds of fish. This also includes how heavy they could be, blah, 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 types of size, as well as, and relative to the platform, this is all relative to, the console that is being played on, or old Windows machine. How many ways in which you can catch a fish, how many lures, line weights and lengths, that type of stuff. That is all a part of fish variety, and fishing feel is just down to the controls. Through a lot of these early games, we're seeing many different ways in which a game wants to have you do the basic act of reeling in when you have a fish already on the line, when you've hooked one, gotten a strike, whatever the game wants to call it. What are the controls for that? The most interesting one so far, and the only one in that category that has a 5, which is 1 out of 5, is Fisherman's Challenge by Konami there on the PS2, because that's a game that's using both analog sticks and you're reeling in with the right analog stick as if you're actually, got your right hand on the reel there. But then some of them are kind of the more Zelda Ocarina of Time things where it is just angle left, angle right, pulling back just away from the fish. We've seen some side view fishing games, some top-down view fishing stuff, and some full 3D kind of environments with interesting different controls. So that is the one category that I find the most interesting to see as we go on. But we're playing 4 games today. If the thumbnail for this video didn't key you in, these are the 4 games we are playing today. Fishing Derby for the Atari 2600. This is a David Crane game. He is one of the, I guess, OG game designers. That is on the 2600. This is, as of right now in my research, and I'm probably wrong, the earliest fishing video game. It is currently the earliest on my list. We're going to be continuing with the Black Bass again today as well, with the 4th game in the series. black bass lure fishing. In Japan, it was called hyper black bass. This is on the original Game Boy in '92, but then in '99 it got re-released in Game Boy Color. So we're gonna play both of those versions. You know, we're just gonna split that time in half for that game. And then Reel Fishing, our third entry here, is on the Dreamcast. It's, I guess, a spin-off because then the game after this would be called Reel Fishing 3. So I don't know if this is considered a spin-off or not. It looks like it is another Reel Fishing game. And then our first Wii game, Fishing Master by Hudson there. Hudson has made so many of the greatest video games of all time. If you ever played a series called Mario Party, they are responsible for all of the ones that you remember and not liking, but still having fun with. So yeah, we're going to be playing a Wii game today. There are, I would say, about a dozen Wii fishing games on the list so far. List of games to eventually play. The more I find all the time, and in some cases, like, yes, there's a 360 version of this fishing game, but the Wii one is different, so I kind of have to consider it its own thing. You know what I mean? Just because the nature of this thing. And yes, I am using as a controller for our Wii games here. The only good thing to come out of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, this gold Wii remote. No, I do not have the gold nunchuck that you could get from Club Nintendo in Japan, I think. I don't think it was a Club Nintendo thing in America. I didn't have enough points regardless. So yeah, we're going to begin with, I guess, David Crane's first and maybe only fishing game here on the 2600. Let's see. And this is a new setup I have going on here. This is different from what... Looking at the audio here, before the game pops up, I have a constant, like bar. Like, it's constantly getting a sound, but I don't hear anything. Is there, besides me speaking right now, do we hear anything in this recording? I hear like a speaker, like, tap type of thing, but that's just the 2600. Why don't we pop the game open here? Here we go. This is Fishing Derby. Booted this up to make sure it works. Other than that, I don't know how it works. Believe you just are trying to catch fish. And, okay, hold on a second. I understand what's going on. Hold the phone. Let me close. I booted up all of the emulators that we're using today, and I forgot that the controller is going to control all of them. So let me close that. Okay, and let's restart this, and then open this up here. Okay. So I'm using, because, you know, Atari controller, we are talking a joystick and a fire button. I'm just using the joystick to move our line down, and we're trying to out-catch this dude on the right-hand side. We are on the left. I imagine the shark eats the fish. This dude is not bad over there. Further down you go, the more points the fish is worth. You're kind of having to struggle away from the fish a little bit, which is... Fuck. Shark ate my fish. No, 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 no. Stay over there, shark. No, no. I love the look of these dudes, and I love how they're holding the fishing line. Just kind of, weirdly silly. Like, it almost feels like, I don't know, what you would see in, like, a very old painting of, you know what I mean, where people just didn't really quite know how to draw well, and, like, yep, this is what that looks like, more or less. So I don't know if there's a time limit. Fuck. How come I'm the only one that's getting their fishies 8? Fuck. Maybe it's a first to X amount. That could be as well. First to 100 points. I will say, you know, I haven't played too many 2600 games. I own a 7800 and a few games. Some of them are just 2600, you know, cartridges because the 7800 can play them. Got an achievement. Home is where the spawn is. Retro achievements. Come on. But from what I've gathered from 2600 games, like, there really isn't a whole lot you can do when you're designing one of these games. And the scope of just this game alone means that they can focus on animating the water. No, the other dude won. First to 99. Dang. We gotta try again. But just seeing the water animate like that, and obviously it is just different colored blue bands. It's a little loud, isn't it? I lower that. There we go. That feedback. Okay, starting over. Reach 99 points. Okay. Come on. I think it's interesting that our line is in different colors, but the other guys isn't. And this was a two-player game, if I recall. You could play this with two jabronis on your Atari. See, the shark doesn't pose a threat to you. The shark wants to eat your fish. And I like it. Look at that shark. Look at these fish, too. There is a surprisingly decent amount of personality in this game for this platform. Come on, there we go. Dang. So sometimes the fish, like, I would hold up and I'm not reeling up. I think it's just the idea is that the fish is struggling, you know what I mean? As of right now, it's still hard for me to tell if you want to be pushing away from the fish or along with the fish, or if there is nothing to do with that. Okay, can this shark go away? Go eat that guy. See, right now I'm just holding up and it wasn't for a while. Okay. And you know, the system is tracking the line decently well. You know, when it's... But, like, again, that's, like... Most likely, where the majority of the computational focus is on the machine is the angle of that line the entire time. Like, I would not be surprised if that is just the majority of what the processing power is being used for. Okay, try again. Come on. We're sitting on, I imagine, a dock. Right? And so we can't bring our line in under where we're sitting. Oh, I think there's an achievement for not letting the shark eat any of your fish. Ouch. Come on. Big man. Damn. The dude's just so far ahead. I wonder how much the shark just immediately flips. Like, the sprite just flips, so, like, the entire zone is mouth. You can't rely on it swimming past, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I'll swim it up right on its tail, because it just flips and that's its mouth again. No, 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 no. Ugh. And while I hate the fact that this CPU is just much better than me, you also want that, though. You don't want... Because, like, this is... You put this cartridge in the game, or in the console, and this is what you get, right? This is it, right here. So you don't want, like, it to be so easy you just get bored all the time and be like, I need a 2-player. You know what I mean? Otherwise, the game isn't worth playing. So it's good. And this is true for obviously a lot of video games, arcadey style. You don't want them to be too easy. There is just something about that green smug fuck over there. Fuck, well, they're just gonna win. I'm doing worse and worse each time. No. No, shark, eat it. Damn. I think my highest was 72. Come on. That's an awful sound, too, when the shark eats your fish. It is just like, I don't know, abruptly turning off the sound channel. Like, just... Left in the depths. Achievement I got. Don't know what that one was for. So we're getting the bottom fish. Okay. Nice. Eat that other fish. Tell that dude what's up. Okay, so I'm not pressing up at all. Let's try that. Not pressing up. No, I wanted that one. Fuck. Alright, alright, alright. No, 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 no. So it's just going up on its own. So I actually, damn it, wonder if that bottom fish. I wonder if each like row or each depth fish, whatever, is programmed differently. Because that very, very bottom one never comes over here. Maybe that's why I got that achievement, because I actually got him when he was at the bottom. See, I don't think you are struggling against the fish at all. I just don't think that's a thing that's being factored into this game. Yeah, it sounds kind of lame, but I really do like the way the water surface is being uh rendered. You can kind of with the certain frame of mind, certain mindset there. No, he was just get over here. Damn it. You can almost look at that as like a 3D plane. You know what I mean? That you are looking into a depth thing. You know, Atari was going through a dark phase on the 3DS era of video game consoles. And there was those 3D classic NES things Nintendo had, like Eureka and other companies do. And then Sega also did 3D classic conversions of some of their games, Power Drift 2, etc. Columns might have been one of them. It would have been interesting to see an Atari collection in 3D. This would be one where it'd be like you could have that. I don't know, just be a neat little visual gimmick. That wouldn't be bad. All right. If there's an achievement for not letting the shark get uh get your fish, does that mean if I sit here and let the other guy win, will I get that achievement? The way RetroArch does achievements is that any achievement that you're on track to get, like it's, you know, beat this level without dying or whatever, the icon, which you can't see, is in the bottom right corner of your overall window, along with, you know, any other information. Right now, under that achievement is a timer for how fast, you know, because if there's a leaderboard for getting to 99 as quick as possible. Um, and that icon for the it's the shark with the red, you know, don't you dare. So I'm assuming that means don't get eaten by the shark, and it's gone away when the shark ate one of my fish. That image is still there. So if the achievement isn't to win, and it's just don't let it happen, I'm gonna get that achievement by sitting here and let this other jabroni win. We're not gonna spend too much longer with this game, but I like it. It's obviously extremely simple and basic, but there are so many other ways in which this style or just a fishing video game on the Atari 2600 could have gone, and this perspective, this way, seems to me like one of the more not plausible, but like I can see a lot of other ways just being done poorly or not as fun or not seeming as if there is much depth, no pun intended, to it. Okay, we'll see. I did not get the achievement. Okay. You do have to win without any shark. No shark bites. How the shark is programmed, I would love to know, because I feel like it just goes into fuck. It just goes, which just goes through these modes where it's like now it's on a frenzy, it's going really fast, or that one just felt like it said "fuck you" to me in particular. Okay. Is Big Fishing paying you to review their games? I have not played any fishing game that's recent by any stretch of the imagination. There was a real fishing game that came out last year. Um, it's on the list. It's far down the list. I'm not playing like the genre in chronological order, but for series, I try to, and there's a lot of real fishing games. We are playing one of them today. There's a lot of real fishing games. Damn, this dude's just gonna win. Also, this is an Activision game, if you couldn't tell. So technically Microsoft owns this. Unless, hey, I mean, that's assuming that rights weren't transferred and sold around and stuff like that. There's a lot of really neat and interesting and iconic for the time video games on this platform, I guess, as well as, you know, computer systems and whatnot. Damn. That are owned by like Activision and EA. EA owns Zork, which was that text adventure game that everyone, you know, remembers being iconic. And there's stuff like that, or like there are. I think EA also owns Ultima, one of the first two, if not the first, like computer RPG, video game RPG, whatever you want to call it. And like, can we get an Ultima collection? You know what I mean? Wizardry is the other one, and that's like owned in part by an American company and owned in part like as terms of like making new games, a Japanese company. So like, you know, whenever we get something that is this old getting re-released, that's neat. We don't often get a lot of that stuff because, you know, companies don't want to sell their shit. They don't want to sell, what was that? They don't want to sell their IP because as soon as you go up to a company and you say, hey, I would like to buy, or let's say you're a video game company, like, hey, I would like to buy this video game series. I would like to buy this. You haven't used it at all, so you know, are you interested? And then they'll be immediately the reaction is, oh, this is now interested in like an interesting thing for someone. We can definitely get more. We're gonna get more money for it. As soon as you show interest, there is a, oh wait, we can sell this? Someone wants to buy this franchise? Well, we can get more money than whatever they're gonna offer. So let's sit on it. Fishing Derby. Atari 2600, 1980. 1980. Environment for the platform, I, again, like it. Again, single screen video game, like a lot of 2600 games are. Don't get me wrong. In fact, all of them. But you could have different screens that you're moving to. Adventure is a good example. Right? That whole game is about being in a maze in different screens. The very limited perspective, the very limited focus of this game, I think works pretty well. It's not the most amazing 2600 game I've seen. I don't really know what I would be looking for a 5 in environment on the 2600. And to my knowledge, this is the only fishing game on the 2600. I don't think we'll be returning to this platform. That being said, it's still top notch for what the platform is. I'm going to give it a 4. Maybe that's a little bit overzealous, but for the platform, I really do think it works out really well. Music and sound, there is some sound effects of the shark eating your fish, your points going up. It is very basic affair. I don't like the sound of the shark eating your thing. It's very crunchy in a way that sounds like you just got electrocuted in real life. You know what I mean? It's not a pleasant sound, and it doesn't really sound like a shark ate your fish. It sounds like a fuck you kind of sound. Like the shark is saying, fuck you. It is just very simple. Also, that kind of speaker popping sound, I'm gonna just not factor into this at all. We're playing that in an emulator on your actual television. It's not going to be as like in your ear like that. It's a little bit different. I'm just going to give it a 2. I wasn't like offended by the sound. I had to sit there and count them. but I wasn't offended by them. Fish variety, this is what I'll say for that. I think it is interesting that if there are different point values for your depth, and that you can't have your line go all the way over to the other side of the pond. You kind of saw me kind of reach that edge there. And I do like the fact that there are some of those fish that only sit on the opponent's side, including the one that is worth the most points at the bottom. I like that. I think that's really neat. And again, relative to the platform, I would have expected Fishing Derby, a fishing game on this platform, to be just like all the fish are the same. They're all worth the same points. It's just repeating the same. I'm thinking like a top-down thing where you're throwing the line into like a circle pond and just plopping them out when you see an icon or something like that. I'm not seeing depth, literally, and unintended, the side view there. So fish variety relative to the platform, I actually think is nice. It inspires a strategy and not just a mindlessness to it. That's kind of my whole kind of thought of the game. Is a lot of 2600 games, sorry, but they do have a mindlessness feeling to it. They are, at their best, they are cool video games. At their worst, they are electronic amusements. They are lights, color, and sound effect. And you are moving color like that at their worst. The worst 2600 games are that. The best might be like this one, where it's like, cool, yeah, no, I gotta beat this guy. I gotta beat that opponent. I want to try to get that fish down there. Can I not get eaten by the shark? Like, there's excitement to it. And this is by any means not the best game on the platform. There are also other very cool video games on the platform as well that are like this, where it does feel like there is depth there and there's an excitement to have, more like a real video game. But maybe that is just a bias for me. I would like to play more Atari games, and I could buy that Atari 50 collection or whatever if I really wanted to do more. I got to get it on a physical copy. They also do re-release those plus units now, 2600 plus, 7800 plus, that use cartridges. So you could get an Evercart or whatever and slam that in the thing and play it on a real machine. I think they're FPGA based, but they're better quality than the old like Atari flashback style plug in your TV stuff that you used to see. Fishing Feel. So this is controls. This is another completely different control scheme, and this is not surprising. How would you do this? It is a little interesting, I will say. I don't hate it. And again, I think it works for... tired. And I slept in today. I think it works for the platform and that kind of strategy, like I mentioned. What it really is you're pulling down to have the line go down as far as you want to go, and it is not. You can just keep going. You can stop. Keep going. Stop. Left and right, obviously, but once you have the tip of the line where the hook is supposed to be, why they didn't render a hook, I'm sure that has to do with overlapping sprite layers. Then the fish grabs it, and I realized you don't have to hold up. I don't even know if that did anything. That was more or less just holding left and right to keep it away from the shark as best you can. You aren't struggling against the fish or anything like that. I think it's decent. The fire button isn't used at all. I'll give it a 3. Gives the game a total score of 12, which, according to this, I gotta put this somewhere so it's on screen at all times. Maybe I'll have a separate thing. Maybe I'll have a separate instance of this Excel document on another monitor, so I can have it maybe floating above my head. I don't know. But a 12 lands us in C territory. A decent 2600 game. Question in the chat: how many total games is this list gonna be? Well, without spoiling anything here, because I don't want this to be visible, because it is a messy list here. There are currently, on my overall list of fishing video games that I have done the research to confirm that they are fishing games, currently I have 168 games on overall raw list. This 168th game is Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2 for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 4, and it is not released yet. I have a TBA. The earliest fishing game on the list, Fishing Derby, which we just played. So, that is, there we go. That is Fishing Derby. A solid video game, much better than I was expecting. But I was pleasantly surprised by it. I always think that there could be more, but, you know, on the 2600, there could be a lot less. So it is a nice, solid C. And as an overall video game, because again, I'm ranking it on the fishing aspects. As an overall video game, I would say it's one of the best ones on that platform, but I have not delved too deep into everything. What the heck? Okay. Our next game on the list to play is the Black Bass Lure Fishing for the Game Boy. There we go. We're going to play this a little bit in original Game Boy mode, and then we will pop the Game Boy Color cartridge in and see what it's like in color. I like this screen, though. I like how they have the logo all nice and big. Music isn't bad. Music keeps going. Okay. Country. What's country? America. Let's start. Okay, casting menu. Select lure. The view data. Today's catch. Move point. Casting. Okay, let's select our lure. Now, the last game in this series that we played, the Blue Marlin, was awesome. I really liked that one. Thinking about that game more afterwards, I really came to appreciate that tension, the fight against the fish, was really well done, and I feel like that is a high mark and a good reference point now. Move point, move boat. Oh. So this is very similar looking, the boat sprite especially, to I'm just getting warped into this background. My eyes are drifting into that weird. This is very similar to the Black Bass USA. We'll sit there right now. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Oh. This is an interesting perspective that I don't dislike. Just pressing left and right. Okay. Same music from Black Bass USA. It is the same music. Okay. We lost a spinnerbait. Try a worm. And play with our worm. Okay, so left and right, it's still reeling in because you can see those rocks go away. Down doesn't do anything. Up, can't tell. Are we like raising it up in the air? And that fish, A also, I think A is just reel it in quick. I'm a bit confused on this perspective now, actually. We have this, okay. I'm now starting to think that, like, our hook, our bait there, I don't think that is sitting on the surface of the water. Depth says 3. I hold down A and it goes all the way up to the surface. I think the idea is that our hook and the fish are in a side view perspective. And just seeing the water down there is a visual. Let's hook it all the way to the right. What's this like? Okay. Well, I know it liked the spinnerbait. B. B doesn't do anything. Start pauses. Select special techniques. Let fish go. No. Yeah, that fish swam away, but it was up in the air, so I think I'm not like jostling this up in the sky. Oh. This is under the water. This isn't the surface of the water we're looking at with rocks sticking up, because there were rocks sticking up on the surface of the water when the cast was going over. We're under the water right now. Right, see, if they didn't show those rocks, I probably would have assumed this was underwater. Hey, eat me. Oh. After this one, we're gonna move to a different spot, I guess. No, he swam away. Let's move our boat. Can I park in here? No. What is this music? I don't know which classic music that is, but I've heard it before. This music kind of here sucks. I don't like it. It's not the Blue Marlin. That's for damn sure. No, don't swim away. Okay. Give me fish. Give me fish again, but this time have the fish eat my... So up and A. Oh, A is much faster. Okay. It looks like I can keep it right at the boat. But I have to just reel up all the way. Although, depth 3.6, line 9, assuming they're in the same units, you know, I guess it's still a little bit far away. A few feet. Sucks. This is not as good as I don't know, I was just expecting it to be better. Let's try the shallow runner. Just throw this hot dog out into the water. Fish love hot dogs, and see, it's floating. Yeah, this is not as good as, I think even the, oh. Okay. The fish. He's jumping. That line that's like a loading bar, I feel like is line tension. As I hold down A, it fills up. We caught it. There we go. What is this public domain classic music that they're playing? Come on. Alright, we caught a fish. Let's try one more, and then I want to swap to the Game Boy Color version of this game that released 7 years later, after sequels to this game on the Game Boy had come out. Come on, you want this hot dog, don't you? This is also classic music, right? The only music that returned from the Black Bass USA was when the fish has the hook, which I like that music, and sounds extremely similar to a Pokemon Gold and Silver credits music. And I wonder if maybe what's his name who composed those tracks on Pokemon maybe was a bit inspired. Or no, this isn't the credits. This is riding the SS Anne, the ship, in either red and blue or gold and silver. Either way. Okay, we got this one. Nice. 1.6 pounds. It's tiny. I like how not the sprite at the bottom, but the one up top more. Kind of looks like he's got a tongue sticking out. I think it's just supposed to be the inside of his mouth, because his mouth is open. Okay. Let's play this Game Boy Color version. Let's begin. The same kind of intro screen in color. I love the Game Boy Color's color palette. The yellows are a bit of a mustard, you know. Everything is like the most yellow, the most green, the most blue, the most, you know, to those extremes, cyan, are still like off if a bit. And it just gives Game Boy Color such a good feel. And those colors do work really well on the non-backlit Game Boy Color screens, so I wonder if that was a factor as well. Okay. Oh, see, this version doesn't ask us what country we're in. The other one said America or Japan. This is kind of harsh, though. I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit much. Okay. Let's go to the spinnerbait. We'll do each of these 3 again, but we'll start with spinnerbait. Let's see. This looks significantly better. The other version, it was just like a grid. The pond was the same, but like the land was just a grid. So, that's cool. Okay. No rocks at the surface this time. Just the underwater rocks. The color makes it more obvious that you are underwater. Okay, fish looks about the same. Wonder how much. So I'm playing these in emulators, but I've been looking at. Here we go. Let's get this guy. So I am pressing left and right. He's swimming away right now. Okay, I'm holding A. Getting him to come in. We don't want our line tension to go all the way up, though. It's got a timer for us in the top right. I wonder if that factors into anything. Come on, 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 come on. There we go. We got a new visual here. Caught a northern pike. And it looks ugly. We're just a little guy in our red hat. While classic music plays for children. Was it Baby Einstein? Those DVDs that were sold? But yeah, put this DVD up so that for your 9-month-old to stare at, and its colors and shapes and other babies while classic music plays. It makes them grow up smarter. That is what I associate this song with. Alright, I gotta do the test. If I throw this all the way to the left or the right, will my line just break? Let's do the worm. Just a little bit to the right. Full cast. Anyway, like I said, I'm playing these in emulators. But, you know, there would be, especially these Game Boy ones, it would be cool to have the cartridge for, and for a lot of these Game Boy ones specifically, I think they're really cheap. But eBay, there's a markup, so. Next time I'm at the semi-local game store I've been to a couple times, I'll peruse the Game Boy section for fishing games. Or even real fishing for the PS1. I can't imagine that would be expensive. They were selling Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 for like $20 to $30 each for non-broken cases, complete in box, you know. I like how we don't get an animation of him getting the fish out of the water, you know, off. The fishing rod stays there. We just get to see him stand up and drop it into his bucket. You know, we caught a black bass. It's the same sprite, it's just colored. Okay. Let's press B to go here. Let's move. I had fished over here. Yeah, okay, this lake is the same. I didn't know if I wanted to treat this as a separate video game or not, based off, because, you know, not playing them. Don't know how much a 7-year later Game Boy Color version of the Game Boy game would, you know... God, this music. Didn't know how much that would change things. The graphics are a little bit different. Let's change our... We're not changing the lake. Let's, hot dog it up. I will say, this game, I don't see a reason to move. Besides just telling you can move your boat. In the Black Bass and Black Bass USA, you kind of got the idea that certain parts of the lake had fish and others didn't. But we're seeing fish every single time. He's a jumper. Oh. You don't want this hot dog? It's just coated in mustard. Or not mustard, ketchup. Yeah, playing in color definitely makes it far more obvious that we're looking at the bottom of the lake and not the surface of the water. Because it's green. Get back here. Hey, hey, hey. I almost find the use of this music, like, obnoxious. Like, I don't know if I'm going to mark it against this game or not. It's got the one tune I liked from the awful Black Bass USA. It's got none of the cool stuff from the Blue Marlin that they made. That game ruled on the NES. You had a cool, like, sunglasses dude as your, like, I don't know, helper dude on your boat. You got to drive the boat around. The fish there were hundreds of pounds because it was out on the ocean. This, you know, this is lake fishing for tiny little guys. Okay, I feel like I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Okay. Let's close this. One of these is open right now. Go. Let's go back here. Quit RetroArch. We will not need it again. And let's take this game here and rank it. Dang, this it's a little bit wider because I had to write Nintendo Game Boy Color. I feel like Nintendo Game Boy, yes. But I think by this point they were just calling it Game Boy Color. I don't think they said Nintendo Game Boy Color. Whatever. Not a big deal. 92/99, right? When does 99 the Game Boy Color version was released. Dang. Both versions are being ranked together as one game. This is just one game. So let's look at it from the Game Boy original, and then just see if Game Boy Color changes matter at all. Environment is a step up above the Black Bass USA, which I thought was abysmal. Here there is not animation under the water, but the perspective is shifting away. So the Black Bass, the original, which was on the Famicom, did not come here. In the West on the NES, it's an 84 game, so it could have been an early NES game. They chose not to. They chose to just make the sequel. Instead, come over here. Side view under the water, nothing animates except your lure bobbing around whenever you jiggle it or whatever, and the fish. Very boring. Black Bass USA was a top-down perspective. There was no depth. It was just surface of the water left and right. I did enjoy that more, however, it was done even worse. Felt like there was nothing going on. This is better because of the perspective that they're doing. It's not animation, but there's nothing to animate. Original Black Bass had literal like seaweed or kelp that was just a frozen sprite. Like, have motion to that. Have an animation, even if it is just 2 frames. You know what I mean? Have something instead. It's just like that. They didn't give themselves the opportunity to do that here. It was rocks and I guess sand slash dirt at the bottom. So none of that needs to animate, but instead they have different sprites for sizes of rock as your perspective moves away from them. I know I just did the Jamiroquai thing. I was a fan before that meme. I think he's great. Always have. Always have. So it's much better than the Black Bass USA. The Blue Marlin, though, sits up at the top of our list so far for NES titles. And is currently tied for number 1 with Top Angler, which was a PS2 title. And a much, much more of an aesthetic going on. Miami, beautiful. This one's not bad. For the Game Boy, it's not bad. Game Boy Color, it's in color, but it's a conversion. They do change up the way the pond on the outside looks when you're on the map view, which looks better. I would say, though, that that's not a thing Game Boy Color could do. They just chose, on the original 92 release, just have the map be a grid, and then carved through that grid is the lake. Giving detail instead of a grid is not a thing the Game Boy Color's extra horsepower could only achieve. So I consider that a detraction, if anything. The look of it when that fish is on the hook is nice. The fish itself, its shadow, because you just see the shadow until it strikes, which is neat. I actually would say that's neat. I'd say it's a bit of a positive. It's almost like, oh, what is this? It could be anything. Oh, it was a black bass this time. What was our first fish? We caught something on that Game Boy Color version first that wasn't a black bass. I digress. 3. We'll give it a 3. Music and sound. So there is no reeling sound. There's no sound of you reeling in the line, which we've seen them be not nice, but like we've seen them sound realistic or like an action sound. The sound of you reeling in can sound almost pleasant. We've also heard them be terrible before. So not having one at all, I still feel like is a bit of a detraction. However, we have been heard worse. There is still the line tension sound effect whenever it's close to breaking, when that meter is getting full. And I do appreciate when games just do a meter for line tension, not some weird, like, when it's just the sound and you just don't know. I don't know. The music, though. All these, I keep wanting to say open source. Just not open source. Public domain. All these public domain classical music tracks really do not fit the vibe at all. And we've heard many different vibe, we've seen what different vibes are in these fishing games. Bassmasters 2000 had a Tennessee twang, sound to it, which it's like I don't want to say Hicks throwing a party, redneck party, but like when you hook the fish, it's exciting in a different way than like Top Angler or Fisherman's Challenge, which is more of a like a fuck yeah, hell yeah type of music. And Real Fishing has had always very okay, actually, Real Fishing might be a good comparison here. This game here, Black Bass Lure Fishing, is going for, that classical kind of, I guess, piano types of tracks or whatever through the Game Boy's sound effects, um, sound chip rather. And it sounds wrong, but similar to that, the real fishing games have had very pleasant, calm, almost inspiringly beautiful type of music, and it works much better there. That's Red Book Audio. We're on CDs. They can literally make whatever they want for music and play it off of, like it's being streamed off of the medium, and it's not being produced by a sound chip. So that's different. Instructions being sent to your NES, your Game Boy, your Genesis, whatever, is not the music. It's telling your sound chip, do this stuff at this timing intervals. You're making the music versus the music is being recorded and played back. And obviously you just have, so you can have extremely MIDI music on a PlayStation, or you can have a full orchestral recording being played, right? The only good song is the one that was in the Black Bass USA, and I give that a 2. I'll give this a 2 as well. Fish variety. We have a few different lures. There was ones that clearly you unlock or purchase later in the game. Cool. There is the ones that sink, that rise up when you're reeling in, the ones that float, that sink when you're reeling in due to physics. There's different types of fish. They have different weights. It's very standard fare. For the Game Boy, you're not selecting any line or anything like that. It is just the lure. Similar to the NES, though. I guess I'll give it a 3. Fishing feel. Okay, so we have a meter that fills up, and then you would think like a golf game, where you go to swing and you have that meter that does this until, okay, yep, now on the way down, you want to hit it right in the zone to get it dead on and not left or right. Like, that's golf games found that formula. Fishing games are all over the place, and we're playing them on different eras, right? So we're seeing the spectrum of where people have figured out what they want. If I recall, the Black Bass USA was different than the Black Bass original, which is what this game is doing, where the meter fills up once. If you don't press it, it stops. You have to press the button again to start it up. But that's whatever. I don't see a reason not to cast at full length. I don't see a reason to bend it left or right. I don't see a reason to go to different spots in the lake. We have been seeing the same rate of fish every time. Once the fish is hooked on, it's simply holding A to reel in. It is going left or right, sometimes with or against the fish to, make it tired. When it's when your tension gauge is getting full, ease off on the reeling. Let that decrease. Fight against the fish. Tire it out. Whatever. It's very standard affair. Very, very standard affair. But it's not bad. It works. It's intuitive. I'll give it a 3. This is an 11, which once again puts us in C territory. An okay game. An okay video game. There are a few more games in this series, Black Bass, that are on the Game Boy. And maybe Game Boy Color? Maybe one of them is Game Boy Color? That's the weird thing, is this game had many sequels in between their first Game Boy game and the 7-year later Game Boy Color re-release. And so it's interesting. It's just very interesting they went back to this game. Maybe it was extremely cheap to produce. I don't know. Or maybe rights were handed out differently. I cannot fathom to guess. So the next game on our list is our Dreamcast title. It is the third game in the Real Fishing series, which is still active and ongoing. Although it's not called Real Fishing 3, it's called Real Fishing Wild. Close this. I gotta now reopen up Redream. Oh, I hope whenever I open up this emulator after it's been a long time, I scanned in all your discs and all that. It takes forever for it to populate our game selection screen. Let's see. Of course, this starts with the letter R, so it's all the way down here. Okay. Let's see what this is like. Once again, published by Natsume. Developed by Victor Software Interactive, I believe. And they're still going for the pre-rendered aesthetic that I think is fantastic. Also, it seems to have frozen. Oh, okay, there we go. I just love these CG intros that they always do. It's so unnecessary, but I love the pre-rendered look of this series. I know because there was a game in this series that came out last year. At some point they shift into an anime aesthetic they have actual characters. You aren't just a fisherman. You don't see yourself. You don't see anyone else. These first two games are like, you're in a clubhouse, and this is where fishermen come, or fisher people, I don't know. See, look at this. This is just nice. I just like that. It's so simple. It's just so simple. I'm wondering when the stop in this style of game in this series happens, and when it moves over to slightly more modern, not going for pre-rendered visuals and having anime people be your guys or gals. New game. Okay. Okay. Yes, shout out to CCZs. They went up in price at my local store. Don't like that. Right, I am playing on a Dreamcast. Okay. I'm playing on a Dreamcast. See, I love this. They're doing the same thing again. I love it. You gotta show a first-person perspective of walking up to the door. Oh, but this is fully 3D. This is not pre-rendered. Catch list option. Fish glossary. Stock corner. Weird. A pre-rendered video of you walking up to the door, but then it goes... Okay, we still are accessing stuff through the notebook. That, Okay. There's a problem with this emulator. Yes, better like and subscribe, I agree. There's another game, the last game we're playing today, has emulator issues as well, which makes me kind of regret not running it on original hardware. But this is fine. Japan Stream. Yamame, rainbow trout in Awane. Japanese mountain stream with everything from native to transplanted fish. Even a beginner can enjoy the thrill of a catch using lures ranging from minnow to plug to a spoon. From a minnow plug to a spoon. Let's do it. Okay. We once again are treated to pre-rendered visual here. But this time, our rod is a... this is so loud in my ears. Our rod is an actual 3D thing, right? I can't tell. Alright, in a cast. Yeah, it's a 3D object. Okay, B reels it in all the way. A doesn't do anything. X and Y aren't doing anything. Okay. R is reeling it in. Well, I'm seeing fish over here. Holding down A and just release. Okay. We're back to Real Fishing 2's, like, 3D look when there's fish around. Ooh. Let's try that again. Yes, if you like everything we do on the channel, please like and subscribe. Huh. So in Real Fishing 2, when it went to the 3D scene, that was when, just to show you a fish is gonna bite. Here, it seems more like a fish is interested and you have to still work for it. Also, other fish jumping over here? Maybe not. Yeah, I like the simplicity of this a lot. L doesn't do anything. Oh. Let's just sit here. Let the homeboy zoom around. No, he's given up. And this scene, it really is just R, and that's all you can do. Start pauses. Nope, sorry, that was just the emulator. I don't think there was a select button on the Dreamcast controller. I'm using a DualSense PS5 controller. And the start button was a weird shape on Dreamcast, if I remember. And this is what I'm talking about with, like, that pleasant, atmospheric music that this series does, which is just done so well. This feels relaxing enough for me to just have on the television, sitting there. You know what I mean? Come on. There's a log there. Get my little thing. Get the thing. Oh, there's a big one. Come on. Alright, give me 1 second here. I need to double check if, Yeah. Okay. X and Y don't do anything. Like, there's no menu to put something on the hook. Right? This is bait fishing. Oh. Okay, so B here. Okay. Let's try a spinner. Okay, let's give this a shot. Okay, we'll try it again. I wish there was a slower reel speed when you're under the water. Just like in the first two, they've mapped out motion vectors based off the video that they're using to be like, cool, in this zone, your line, your lure, will float in this direction based off the video, right? And that's cool. First game they used shadows of fish composited on top of the video. This time they just have sprites of fish. Wanted to see what happens. Under the water here, all you can do is just reel, and there's no extra control you have. Both of these lures just drop. This one drops much slower. But, like, that's... Oh, come on, get it! They don't like it when it's on the bottom. It doesn't look like they want to go for it when it's on the bottom. They don't give you a lot of experience, or a lot of time, rather, to, get in there, and I'm reeling in so fast. You know what I mean? It really is wild. Reel fishing wild. In stores now for your Sega Dreamcast. I didn't check to see when this game released. It's on the spreadsheet, but... Come on, come on, come on, bite it! Ugh. I'll say the fish models in this game. So Reel Fishing 1, entirely pre-rendered. It was a side view for when you were underwater, actually doing the fishing part. Everything was pre-rendered. Second game on PS1 also. Pre-rendered until it wanted to show you the fish near your line. It would warp just like it does here to view under the water. Okay. And it's basically showing a fish is gonna get it, and you just have to press the hook 'em button. You know what I mean? To hook the fish. Simple. And then the actual fishing itself in that game, the line reeling in the fish that's on your line was in 3D. I've seen much better PS1. I don't want to say graphics, but like, you know, I talked to this with David recently because we were maybe playing a PS1 game for an upcoming thing in the far future. And I was talking about the Z buffer and blah, 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 and XYZ. You would get the sprite warbling effect in PS1 games a lot. Or not sprite, polygon warbling effect. And because it was struggling, you know, sometimes to figure out the depth away from you that these vertices for these polygons were supposed to be. And sometimes they would fight, and that's where you get your warbling effect. That game... lousy with it. Really terrible. And also thinking about how much rendering they're saving by having simple... come on. By having simple, simple scenes like this, almost. Where there's not much to render. The polygons were still very low for PS1, and the environment, the draw distance was... it wasn't even much of a draw distance. You could watch the environment being built around your very close... it was kind of embarrassing a little bit. Anyway, I say this because this Dreamcast game, which is, you know, I would say PS1++ in a lot of respects. Not quite PS2. Looks significantly better. It looks significantly better. Under the water. And, you know, the Dreamcast could do a higher resolution, so I'm sure I haven't counted, but I wouldn't be surprised if this pre-rendered video here is at a higher resolution than what the first two games on PS1 were doing. I feel like a fool, because, like... they're not going for it. Was there any other options here? Okay. I don't know, does a heavier line... I like how the line dissipates in this view. Come on, go for it. I want to at least hook a fish once in this game. Come on. And that's the crazy thing, too, is it feels like... what if I just don't go where those fish are? Are those, like, super hyper fish? Too rambunctious? Because... it almost seems like the issue here is that the fish are careening so quick. Like, none of them are moving slow. They're wild. Oh. Right? It seems like they're just... I almost wonder if maybe this is an emulation issue. Because everything under there feels like it's going too fast. Comey can't even really get to it. Come on! I think it fades away when they've given up on interest. Like, tell me I'm not crazy here, but these fish are all moving too fast. Like, they can swim faster than that in real life. I could get it. That's not the point. But, like, none of them are moving slow at all. Like, none of them are, like, just moseying, you know? I'm gonna look up the manual for this game. I have it here on SegaRetro.org. Okay. Okay, here are controls. Analog thumbpad, aka the stick. Highlights menu selection, changes casting direction. The D-pad here, directional button, otherwise known as D button. Highlights menu selection, changes casting. Start button begins the game, pauses the game. X and Y, they are labeled as not used. Okay. B button, cancel menu selection, access menu and temperature at fishing spot. The A button, select casting and hooking. Right trigger, reeling. Oh. Here's a mistake. Give me a second here. I don't have these set to my actual triggers. I have them set to the shoulder buttons. Thanks. That's why. Okay. It's part of why, I will say. Left trigger. Go, right trigger. When Devin and I were doing Shenmue on Redream here, the controls were just not working out. The controls were not working out, and we set the triggers to the shoulder buttons because that was the only way to get them to work. Because there was some weird, like, wasn't working all the way. So right trigger is for reeling. Well, it says the longer you hold R trigger, the faster you'll reel in the line. Left trigger, labeled as not used. This did use the Sega Dreamcast fishing controller, which I don't own. We're gonna revisit. By the time we're done with all of this stuff, there's gonna be a bunch of games we're gonna revisit. We are gonna revisit games that use specific controllers. So Dreamcast will get an episode of just like, here's all of this stuff or whatever. So that's that. Let's just try right now. Yep, I can see right here the analog motion is working. Okay, so that might help us. If I need to look further at if this doesn't work out. Okay. Any one of you guys. This still is not going to work out. I guess I'll look more at the manual. What else is in this manual? How to earn new tackle. When you start out, you start with a small inventory of tackle. As you catch fish, you'll add more equipment. Okay, Japanese mountain stream. That's where we're at right now. Stocked nearly to the point of overpopulation. The Japanese mountain stream is one of the best places to hone your angling skills. While you won't catch the biggest fish in the game here, you'll learn how to hook and land fish and acquire important tackle for later stages. Okay, target species, the yamame, the rainbow trout, and the awane. Those were the three things we saw at the beginning. Cool, looks like we go all around Japan, North America. They say North America, but then they say Canadian Lake, Australian River, New Zealand River, there's a New Zealand River too, the Amazon, Middle Amazon. Oh, this must be the wild part of this game. We're going to places, you know, Pantanal, South America. So locations. Although they're starting us off in beautifully close to civilization places like here. Tips for catching. Study the water. Yep, small disturbances, a dorsal fin. Yep. Okay. Cast there. Be the bait. If your lure is in the vicinity of a fish, the view will change to an underwater perspective. Successful fishing isn't about thinking like a fish, it's about thinking like bait. Your lure must resemble food to attract fish, which is why the speed at which you retrieve, press the R, trigger R or reel. The lure often determines whether a fish will strike. Keep in mind that if you're prey, you want to swim away. A steady or fast retrieve is usually all the convincing a hungry fish needs to strike. Okay. As in real angling, setting a hook is an intuitive timing skill attained with experience. To set a hook with a standard controller, press the A button as the fish strikes. You can also move the analog stick. Okay, let's just try what we got. Oops. It literally said be fast as fuck, so. I don't even see any fish. Okay, that was weird. I saw no fish there. Oh, okay. Jesus. Okay. I think I got it. We're just set him on the ground. Okay. I understand why I wasn't catching them before. There is no prompt or no feedback or even visual indication that the fish is actually at the thing, biting it, but you do have to set the hook with the A button. And there does not seem to be a failure for mistiming that, so I am just going to rapidly press the A button. Mm-mm. Okay. And this just seems chaotic. This is just insane. We got it, though. Slightly bigger. 0.3 centimeters bigger. Half a foot. See, to me, putting it on the ground like that with that faraway perspective, I'm sorry, it gives me the impression that the idea is we stomp on the fish. I don't know, it's a little fucked up, but... We're not in a boat. This series isn't about being in a boat. You know what I mean? We're standing on the edges of streams and lakes and whatnot. Which, to me, is fun, you know? I like how above water in that 3D space, it's kind of just like a haze of blue. Like, they didn't render anything above there. Which, I mean, you have to really force the camera. You can't control the camera. It's just through reeling, manipulating the reel, do you see that. So to be fair, it's not like they really are showing you the sky. Kind of just have to cast over here. Come on. Right in the thick of them. Here we go. Okay. He got off, I guess. There is no text prompt or anything. It's a little bit more, au naturel, I guess. Lots of fish still there, so I don't know why. When does it decide it wants to fade to black, you know? Is it picking like one fish and saying, this is the fish that's interested? The sound of it scraping against the rock. Come on. There we go. Left and right is doing it, so there is that whole thing. Whoa, this one's much bigger. Here's our fish. Like that the music here is a little bit quieter. Or maybe it's the same volume of music, it's just the fact that it isn't the extremely loud sound effect of water, which is still pleasant. Ooh, we got a new tackle. We got a silver spoon. Orthodox spoon type lure for the bottom water fishing. Triple hook setup is effective for bringing in big catches. Cool. No, the music is definitely louder here. Maybe we should swap to that new tackle. Color. I mean, it's not saying anything would be different, but color does matter to fish. How the light reflects off of it. Ooh. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm not doing correctly. You know what I mean? There's still a vagueness. That first real fishing game with its side view pre-rendered eventually gave me a confidence of like I know exactly what I'm doing right or wrong or whatever, right? More video gamey in that sense. Alright, come on. Here we go. Jeez. As soon as that guy bites on, it's like, yep, I'm coming straight to you. It's fine. I'll do all the hard work for you. Okay. Got a new rod. I like this setup too, where literally it's not like, okay, now return back. Now you unlock this and this and this. It's like catching certain sizes or types of fish or a number of fish or whatever is causing these unlocks, and I don't know, I like that. I don't know if this would help, but because it's not like there are bass here. Come on. Oh, he got free. My line broke. It is interesting that there is no text pop-up at all to say what happened. I do find that a little bit, it's relaxing in a sense, but also like, man. But also like, I don't know, it feels strange. Okay. Okay. This one's going crazy. Let's get him. Nice. Rainbow trout. It's a big one. A little over a foot. It's a 3D model. These fish are 3D models. Cool. I feel like that is enough of Real Fishing Wild for today. I still love this aesthetic. I still love it. Okay. That here. Open this up. Real Fishing Wild. I gush about the aesthetic a lot more than I feel like it might have been appreciated back then, perhaps. As like 3D polygons, like that is what you want. 2001. So this is at the end of the Dreamcast short life, relative even to that era, short life. No, we're talking, what did Dreamcast launch in Japan in 98? Was it 98 or early 99? I feel like it was at the end of 98. We didn't get it until 9999, greatest day in entertainment history. It's Final Fantasy VIII launched that same day. But you know, you get, it's like 2001 is when you get the, hey, we're discontinuing this. We are going to support the Xbox and the Game Boy Advance. Or the PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance is what the first initial Sega announcement was. This is made by Sega. So this did use the Dreamcast controller for fishing that was probably out for a while at that point. Okay. Environment, we gave Real Fishing 2 a 3 and the original a 3. I will give this a 4. The aesthetic remains the same in terms of the above water approach, and I think it's still beautiful. Under the water is better this time. It's a better 3D thing than what Real Fishing 2 was doing. And Real Fishing 1, it was a side view and everything was pre-rendered, but it had a very fake look to it. That did not match well with the pre-rendered top-down visuals of your stream lake, whatever. It had a different look. It felt very fish tanky because there were different layers in the background, but only a couple. And one of those layers, parallax scrolled way too close to the camera, to you, the foreground. It felt like it was in the upper middle ground, and that made it feel like you had a back wall. Didn't really care for it that much. The polygonal aspect of Real Fishing 2, as we talked about it then and also today, you know, it was disappointing even for then. Much better here, that element. It feels like it moves too fast, but that is not an environment thing. So I'm giving it a 4. And the next entry in this series is on PS2. I'm curious to see if they make the jump to full 3D models for everything, or if they still try to keep up the pre-rendered look that I love. Music and sound, top notch as always. We gave the original a 3 and its sequel a 4. I would also give it a 4. I think it's great. Honestly, it is good. It is really good. It is what I want. It is relaxing in a way, like I said, where I would have no problem with my tube TV sitting in the living room, or if I want to get a small, they're all kind of small, but I want to get an actual table size small one to have on the desk here, and that would be something. I would be okay booting the game up and just looping it there, because that audio and the visuals just work so well. Fish variety, it is what it is. It is good. You know what I mean? It is, you're unlocking different lures and tackle line and whatnot, rods, as you're getting the fish, which I think is a better deal than just your class rank went up like the first game. So now you get more stuff. You can go more places. I like that it's more of just like, no, just keep catching, just keep doing the thing. The actual fish themselves, it is typical affair, for what this series is even doing, where this location has 2 or 3. The original was like 1 each. Later ones had a couple, for sure. They're fast. You have to really kind of hook them in. I'm gonna give it a 3. I know we gave the original a 4 and its sequel a 3. I feel like we are still within the same kind of expectations of, like, there could be more options. More options aren't necessarily for the better, but I feel like this is all still pretty standard. I'm not, like, blown away or even like, oh, sweet. It's like, cool, this is what I expect at this point. Fishing feel, the controls. Is the Dreamcast controller, those triggers, they're a little heavy-handed, in my opinion. I'm not using a Dreamcast controller. Excuse me. It's pretty standard, but like in a slightly disappointing way. I did not, again, use the fishing rod controller. That will be for another day. We will revisit all the Dreamcast fishing games, because there's a few. There's a few. With the fishing controller, we will see then, and some of the scores will bump up or down. Mostly up when we revisit some of these games. Some will go down. We played a sequel to a series that's going to get some decreases next time we play. Or replay them. Man, we gave the original a 3 and its sequel a 4 on fishing feel. It's faster. You have to really hook when they strike, which I appreciate. Only learned that from the manual. The game gave no indication. At this point, I am expecting it to just say what the buttons do on screen sometimes. I digress. But once you get that, it's like, okay, I understand, and it's not that big of a deal. Once they grab on, it happens so fast that I couldn't really experiment on like figuring out what works, what doesn't, what is just going to happen regardless of what you do with the controller. You know, Fishing Derby at the beginning, I thought I had to be holding up. You don't have to hold up at all. It's going to go up when it wants to go up. But you don't get that, so you experiment a little bit. Okay, I get it. I understand. Things are different. This game is similar in that, like, I don't know if I need to be... I was obviously holding A to reel, and I was letting go when I had the feeling that the fish was getting too strong. You know, there's that risk of the line snapping. There is no tension indicator. It's kind of just by feel. Which you have more feel in reel fishing because you can feel the line. You can tell more. You know, it's not like there wasn't a vibration for it to indicate that. But I guess it never said that I had a jump pack in my controller, so maybe there is supposed to be that in there. Man, it happens because it happens so fast. I felt like I had no control. I was holding left and right, and I was letting go when it was like, I feel like this fish needs to. And, you know, I knew play with the fish, get it to struggle and tire it out. That's what the series was doing from the first entry. So I knew that concept was being into consideration for this game. And 3 and 4, I'm going to drop it. Do I drop it down to 3? Because this feels still better than Reel Fishing 2, but I have less confidence. I'm going to drop it down to a 3. Dropping it down to a 3. Still, it ties with Reel Fishing 2. 2 4s, 2 3s. That gives it a B. Our highest game of the evening so far. Okay. Sure. Next up on the list, Fishing Master for the Wii. Yeah. This is going to be interesting. I am setting away my PlayStation controller here. Setting it aside. And I'm pulling out my Wii Remote, my nunchuck. I don't get the impression... I booted this game up because I didn't want to, like, daisy chain a Wii and a capture card, and I would have to do some stuff to the Wii in order to get all this to work first anyway, and so we're using Dolphin for this. It's my first time actually playing a Wii game on Dolphin, so Bluetoothing this controller to it is a thing. A thing I think I might need to redo, so give me a second here. Yes, stop you. Kind of point being, though, that I am not entirely positive that, does this want to open up? No? Do we want to show me on screen here? Oh, I'm doing the wrong one, that's why. I was doing Redream again. There we go. Here's our Wii. I don't think there's pointer control, so I don't have a sensor bar out right now. I do have it out, and it's plugged into my Wii U, which did not seem to work before. Okay, but this game seems to just have menu control with either the D-pad on the Wii Remote or the nunchuck. We're going to make a save file. This music, not the best. Very, very kid first and foremost game. I love that dog. I don't think there's any pointer controls. So hopefully we don't have to, like, revisit this game. Fishing Master. Copyright 07. New game. Let's do a new game. Creepy guy. Welcome to the wonderful world of fishing. First, let me take a good look at you. There's some emulation issues with this game. Some text just doesn't appear. A long time ago, people called me the Wizard of Fishing. You're one of my grandkids, right? There's no apostrophe in your. I think it's disappeared because of the spacing. So, I'm sure you'll become a great fishing master. Choose a character. Left or right to switch characters. Press the A button to select. Damn, you can't play as the dog? I don't know. Just play as this dude. Say, what's your name again? Sorry, forgot it. I forgot it. It's easy to forget things when you get older, you know. Please tell me your name. I love the right channel audio here has, like, meant to be distant. A record scratch going on. Wait, what? Okay. Okay, now E works. Sure. We'll be Eats Dad. Why not? That's right. We're not striking this against the game, obviously. Oh. Did you just get so why did you get so anxious all of a sudden? Are you saying that I haven't even started anything yet? That's okay. Won't forget your name again. Say, don't you have a pet you really love? What kind of pet was it again? Didn't really forget everything, you know? Because I want to know what pet it is. Okay, there's the dog. Different dog that kind of sucks. Oh, it is just the two. Well, we'll pick Cool Dog. What was your pet's name again? Oh, I remember. It was a really cute name, right? Yeah, it's... I was gonna say Tony T, but... by golly, if that was the name. Wally hit me, a cough. I knew it all along. Really, I did. That's what's... Whoa. Whoa. What's with the sour pussy? What? That has to be sour face? Is the Y supposed to be an exclamation? What's with the sourpuss? Oh, like just the face, but... Alright. Just simmer down. I'm gonna have you go out and employ a little wishing. But it ain't plus just War 1 and games now. I want you to enter wishing tourneys all over Pan and win. And every one, you get the ultimate title, a title that all us anglers dream of carrying. It's what we call Fishin/Aster. Yeah, oh doggy, what a classy name. But you get excited? Gotta dip your line in waters around the country to win it. Yep. And while you're at it, I want you to do me a little favor. I'm an old man, so don't rush me here. I want you to, yes, I need you to complete a series of fish charts for me. How does that strike you? While working to be fishing master, you can fish up fish charts for this old, geezer. Ha! More fun than a barrel of monkeys. Do go get your line wet. I don't like hearing someone say get my line wet. An old man who claims to be your grandpa but forgot your name says he wants you to get your line wet. You've called the cops. I don't really trust the cops for anything. But in that instance, you call them. Or actually, before you do that, you need to go over a few fundamentals. I'm sure you've got a lot to learn about fishing. Yes, I do want to know the controls. What would you like to learn about? Before you can cast a fish, you need to learn how to use your rod, reel. Throwing your line into the water is called casting. After you select a fishing spot, press the B button. Okay. It's like bowling and Wii. Okay. Okay, hooking and reeling. Wait for a fish to bite. Signal appear on the screen. Wow, it just tells you to pull it back, huh? You gotta hook the fish H times. There we go. I don't have my wrist strap on. Not playing safe. Well, I gotta get this on correctly. There. Now I'm safe. Although I think it would be really funny if the only time I've ever let go of a Wii remote while playing was here to smash into this television. I think that would be very funny. Don't pull back the Wii remote too slowly, you won't hook the fish. They really are like, fling this fucker. If you're fishing with the Wii remote, reel your line by pressing down. Usually using a nunchuck, following information will help you reel the line by quickly moving your nunchuck in a spinning motion. I can actually feel the thing in here. It's a little loose on the inside of this nunchuck. It's funny, this is like if you're left-handed. Should I have swapped my hands for this? Press the C for fast retreat, or press the F button for a slower pace. Well, instead of me telling you, okay, I have to go. Oh, feet to go. So there is no like, it's just the nunchuck just has, I don't know what you would call it, but a thing that tells you, thing that tells it that it was moved. That's kind of it. It's saying do this. This thing doesn't know. This thing just knows that it was moved at all. right? Yep, our tension gauge, we don't want it to go all the way to either side. Also, yes, this game on the Wii is in 4x3. A lot of early Wii games were like this. Okay, at this point now, I mean... the battle starts, the signal appears on screen. Okay, okay. This is how we... yeah, okay. A fuzzy cloud. Okay, reel it in. Let me guess, you just pull the Wii remote up. What would you like to learn? Exit tutorial. Yeah. Okay. Now we get to play for real. We've learned, we've gone to fishing school with this old man. Hey, there's a Wii up on that TV. Fish newest means fish quest. Just let me do it, please. I already sat through all your tutorial. Oh, different regions in Japan. Okay. Going to Pokemon Land. Oh, want to go fishing here? Yes, please. Oh wow, we walk around. And it really is, like, the nunchuck, I've never enjoyed how Nintendo for the longest time, until the Wii U, had their analog sticks on 8-way gates. Like this. Like the plastic, when you move it around. You can hear it a little bit here. I never enjoyed that, if I'm being honest, but it does allow in games that precise movement, but this game is also, like, just programmed like that. It just feels so off. Alright. And we can angle. I can just hold down on the stick. Gotta back up for this. I'm doing the thing. I got a good there. I just can't cast far away enough. Okay. Gotta keep it the top bar thing. Okay, I'm getting it now. There's our glory shot here. We got a half beak. It's new and big. Nice, almost 3.5 pounds. It's the first time you caught this fish at this fishing spot. There's a redfish over here I want to get. It's this pier here. Yeah. No. It gives, like, no time. It gives time, but, like, no time to react. So fish are just going to it. Got a grass puffer. 5 ounces. Or is it half an ounce? It's not half an ounce. It should say pounds and not ounces. I get it, it's not a full pound. But you'd say... You say that it's half a pound, or say 5 ounces. Not 0.5. Alright, so this is... Wow. 8 lives. Taste cat's love. I wonder if in the Japanese version of this game, it's different. Or did they not care? This isn't a fish. Yeah, you can't cast super far. I think it's a equipment based. Oh, I can also just go down on the stick to reel, even in that mode. That's just what I'm gonna do. Oh. Okay, I'm wrong. This is gonna be a big one. Jesus. We got ourselves a conger eel. It's big and new. And weighs almost 10.5 pounds. Good for us. I think it is cute that they just have a dog following you. Dog's like, yep, I love being near you. We catch fish. I don't know what got me to to cast so far? It said swish and everything. This is the game. Okay. You can do this. I guess these two buttons here, C and Z, were also doing something. Got a cardinal. Nice. Love that type of bird and or person in the church. Now there's a fish variant as well. I like the fish version more. Okay. I love it. You can't walk into the dog, so you kind of are just like... Hey, that one went further. I didn't want that one, though. The game. I mean, like, it's whatever. This is meant for like, kids. And it's meant to be easy. Oh, look at that dog jamming out. Dog's excited. The dog is real excited. I wasn't really paying attention. Please, red one. No! The red one must be, like, super cool or whatever. Wait, I wonder if... Well, whatever. I enjoyed that one. Oh, I got the small one that was out there. It wasn't even a fish. Not a tuna can. Can you do the Wii bowling thing of... That one went further. I like it as more of an action, quick time event thing instead of just having to fight against it constantly. But still, you know, showing that that's the idea. The Cardinal. It's our best one. Okay. I love the dog just jamming out while we're doing this. I have an itch in my left ear. Nice, it's another giant thing. Big. I think it's interesting. As soon as it lands in the water, you can watch the fish all just kind of turn and go for it. Ooh, it's a different big thing. Okay. Half-beak. Walk around here. I just got a text from Verizon telling me that the iPhone 17 is a thing. Like, that's really great. Really love the fact that Verizon can just continuously text me. I'm not in the market for a new phone. This fish is just... it doesn't know what it wants to do. Dog is disappointed for us. We have a day-night cycle. I could see the clock was going up there, but it's actually being reflected in the lighting. So Z here is a slow reel. Z is the fast reel, so it's just holding down on the stick, which is also what you can do if you're just doing the D-pad, which I got distracted. All the various ways... oh, time is up. Go home, kid. Look pleased, oh my, looking over at your ice chest, is that? You didn't just catch the fish I told you about, did you? Well, better check right away. I got other types of fish. Is it just the last 4? Okay, no. It only shows 4 at a time. Quest bonus 50. We got 434p. Ho ho! I went to imitate what he was doing and I forgot that this was still attached to my wrist. There. This creepy old fuck. Okay. Good idea, old man. I will get some rest. And now I'm right here again. Yeah, you really don't need the nunchuck. In fact, I just unplugged it and the game didn't even acknowledge that status here. Ethan and Tony T. Weird that it's not the character model, and it's like the character art, which I guess kind of looks like him, clothes-wise. That book's going fucking crazy, man. Where'd that book go? It's insane, dog. Look at that thing. What are our options? Fish shadows, light music, review controls. That's not an option. Tackle box. We were fishing in the sea, that makes sense. Sea worms. Those fish just love those sea worms. I want to go to the shop, and then we'll call it. I just want to see what What they got going on? Well, okay. I don't like this guy. Willow pole. Cast a little farther. You get to make 3 errors max. $2,000. Buy bait. Sea lice. You know, they'll eat your rations. So, but if you want to get the sea lice title at the end of the game, you have to get those sea lice on you. But it overrides like a lot of the other titles, so like if you get it by accident, reload your save, that sucks, you know? Because they're just on you the rest of the thing. I take it that this is just unlocking the bait. This isn't like... Oh no. Never mind. Holy shit. You must be raking in points later on in the game. I mean, even look at the space between the words points needed and our 60. You know what I mean? Or your points, and like, you're getting hella money in this game. Just not right now. They have different bait, they have different fish that like different types of stuff. Alright, please come again. Okay, each region has multiple spots. Okay. That multiplies the number of locations then. You see this crop of rocks? You can walk there. Wow, look at the skybox. So close. There's no attempt to haze the horizon a bit. Granted, this is being upscaled. Dolphin. Nice. Okay, I will say, it is harder without the nunchuck because you have to hold down on the D-pad, and then you have to juggle that with doing the motions, and that's actually a bit much for one hand to muscle, you know, your way through. It actually is a bit much, one-handed. Frees up your other hand, though. And look at this sexy fish. It's the Silv Salago. 15 ounces. I guess I was wrong, but 15 ounces is not a pound, that's 16. Then the 0.5, oh man, I guess that fish was just really light. Anyway. That's Fishing Master. Oh. We'll leave the ambience. There. Fishing Master, the Nintendo Wii. Okay. It's an early Wii game, it's an 07 title, so as far as like motion stuff goes, you can really see them being like, you gotta reel in with the nunchuck. You gotta, like, they're going all in on that stuff. This isn't the first Wii fishing game, by the way, it's just the first one I wanted to do. Environment. despite the fact that the characters are very cartoony, the environments themselves have a more realistic kind of texturing set to them, and all that. I do, again, this is a new type of perspective. You're a 3D character that you're walking around on land and then casting out into the sea. It is one continuous space. The fish are there as one space. And I think that's cool, at least cool in the sense that we haven't seen a game do that on our list yet so far. It's only the 16th game we've done. That being said, it's not anything crazy. This is on the Wii. So compare this to PS2-like stuff. This is much more of a budget game for sure, like we would see on the Wii. Shovel, I'm sure there's a lot of shovelware. There isn't a whole lot of fishing games, focused fishing games on the Wii, but I'm sure some of them are shovelware. Really, really low bid, low budget stuff. Overall, though, 07 was when I got the Wii. You just couldn't find one at launch. You just couldn't. And I got it. I was in 6th grade when it came out, and I got it. So this would have been early 07 that I got it. If I had received this game as a gift, I would have enjoyed going all in on it. I feel like we'll talk about controls in a second, but I feel like I wouldn't have found the game that tactilely interesting. But there's a nice progress to it. Like, I go back and forth on whether or not I really like the rate in which you're catching fish in some of these games. Like in those real fishing games, getting them at a steady clip required a bit of skill on your part. Like games like this, where it feels like you're just getting them all the time. There's something to that. It feels like you're making progress in a video game. And again, if you're trying to constantly see if you can get a better one for a leaderboard or whatever like that, you know. Cool. Environment. For the Wii, I have a feeling we're going to see worse. I have a feeling we're going to see better. I don't know if I want to give it a 3, though. Man, I really don't know. I think I'm leaning towards a 2. It's very small areas that you're fishing in. Maybe some of them are bigger down the line, but just as out the gate, almost like a diorama. You don't really need to walk around. You don't really need to. Your line, I'm sure, reaches everywhere, especially once you buy more rods that can cast farther. There was that one right off the gate that literally said can cast farther. So that is more of a set dressing thing. We'll leave it at a 2. I'm kind of expecting a bit more. 2007. Music and sound. The ambience we're listening to right now is not bad. The music and all that when you're hooking them is decently fine. We saw that. I mean, the dog really liked the music. He was jamming to it. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's fine. Fish variety, I'm gonna give that a 4. There's a lot of different fish in each area, which is cool. And I can tell right off the bat there was the red fish I was trying to go for. They weren't interested. So again, different fish will like different bait. And having to buy bait, interesting. On like an individual bait basis, interesting. Haven't really seen something do that yet. Fishing feel. Now this is gonna be tricky because this was relative to the other stuff. This is its own beast. This is motion controls. Really, what that was for this game was holding down on the D-pad, or down on the nunchuck, which I preferred, or the C button. And then you can do it slower if you press the Z button, which felt useless. Or just shaking this thing, which is not precise. It knows when you're doing it, but like you'd have to constantly be doing this. And then that's like, that's as if you're going instead of just holding it down, right? So you saw me just constantly wanting to thumb the stick down instead. It's not doing the angle left or right, although they were showing that. It was mostly relative to this, although before you cast, it was more like this, which is interesting. Again, even though like this Wii remote has the gyroscope in it, the Wii Motion Plus inside, which I always love that inside is in all caps down there. Like, it's really proud of it. But the regular Wii remote accelerometer, so it is just knowing that it's being turned, right? And which way it's trying, which axis it's looking for. And so it's just doing early Wii stuff of the waggle, right? It is just notice that thing was moved, which is what the nunchuck is only capable of. Just notice that it was moved at a quick type of pace. I never tried to see if waggling it in a different direction than what it wanted worked, but it was so fast that it kind of was just like, I just want to So I actually kind of enjoyed that. It made it feel more like an action game, like that was a quick time event, but like one that you're looking out for. You're constantly trying to be aware of. You're staring at the top of the screen, trying to keep your attention thing in the middle. A lot of the games so far don't really care about the don't give any tension, otherwise they escape. Like, they make that a part of your tension gauge thing. And so you're trying to keep it in the middle as best you can while the fish is going in and out of intensity. And then you're trying to also then pay attention for the swing left, swing right. They show a big-ass Wii remote for it, but, you know. I kind of liked that aspect. Reeling is just as simple as holding down a button. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to reel. Every Wii came with a nunchuck, so like it's not like the nunchuck was optional. Like, they could have required the nunchuck, and reeling in with the D-pad down, like that's too much for one hand to focus on. I was letting go of the D-pad to swing. It's because I don't know, maybe I wanted to have a better grip. You know what I mean? Maybe. I'm just gonna give it a 3. It's tough. It's tough because this is the first Wii fishing game we've done. First Wii game we've done here on Gone Video Game Fishin'. So I guess this will be the basis, and this is an okay basis to branch from, because I'm sure there will be simpler ones in the motion controls department. There might be ones that are just normal controls. Maybe some of these games I'll have to take a look. Will they use the classic controller? If so, we will definitely give those control options a shot. Will pointers ever be a thing? This game did not use the pointer at all. To the point where I wasn't sure when I was testing this. I didn't actually get into the fishing stuff itself. It was just in the main menu there. No pointer was a thing. So I don't actually know if my sensor bar was getting powered or not. I guess I could always use the trick of getting a pair of candles. That works. Sometimes. Occasionally. Okay. That's a C. A 12. Not bad. This is a good, okay list of games. Fishing Derby was better than I expected from the 2600. But an okay game overall. Time has, we've got kicked back. We've got kicked out. Closing the emulation there. back to just here and me. Black bass lure fishing was okay for the platform, but disappointing considering that the Blue Marlin was much better. But that's a different type of game, I get it. Real Fishing Wild was a good, solid entry. My fear is that it's the last of the pre-rendered Real Fishing games. But it had all the nice vibes. And Fishing Master, an okay benchmark for fishing on the Wii. We will see what other games do. Okay. Next time we will pick 4 more games on 4 different consoles. This kind of setup I'm doing here isn't complete. It might not be complete for next time as well. I want to do more with the video file that you see I am on top of. Remove this. I want to have the logo that's up there be a part of the video itself instead of just an image. But I like what I did here. Yeah. Might be next week, might be the week after, but we will do another round of 4 fishing games next time. So if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the journey that I'm going on, 168 games, like I said. That's the number of games on the list so far. 4 of them each time. Different consoles. If you enjoy this, please like the video. Even better yet, subscribe to the channel. It helps Devin and I out and makes David smile sometimes as well. Check out the other things we do. Podcasts every week. Trophy hunting streams every week. Devin movie review videos every now and then. Depends on if one of them's good enough. One of the movies he's watching is good enough. And other things we do on the channel. There's a Halloween stuff that we're doing Monday. So if you're watching this relatively close to when it aired Monday, we are doing another year of spooky random Steam games that Devin finds. Excited for that. Last time we found Titanic 2. Did he find a Titanic 3? I told him to. As a joke. But did he? We'll find out, I guess. And if you're watching this afterwards, you already know. Or maybe you don't care. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves out there. And goodbye.